We're at Netroots Nation 2018 with our brother, the mayor of Jackson, Mississippi, Chokwe Lumumba. Brother, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. I'm pleased to be here. Just had an opportunity to address the audience, and you know, just really happy to see the energy that is here with Netroots Nation.
Why was it important for you to be here? What was important about being here for you?
I just thought it was important to make certain that I got the message out of what we're attempting to do in Jackson, Mississippi. Because I think that it speaks more than just to the conditions of Jackson, Mississippi. I think that it must be a model for what we do around the nation. That we're not afraid to uphold a progressive agenda and progressive principles. And so I thought that it was important to put forward, and I hope that the message was well received.
You've been getting a lot of accolades for the work you've been doing in Jackson, dealing with a number of issues. I know that there have been changes in the school system. You've also been dealing with your own water crisis and what have you. Tell us a little bit about that.
Our communities are in crisis, and so we have to be able to get out of these cycles of humiliation, which see poor performing schools, which see infrastructure issues such as Jackson is dealing with. And we have to identify the ways of getting out of it and do it through what I call operational unity. And that is more or less highlighting the common ends and objectives that we see as opposed to the differences that exist in the community. And so that's what we've attempted to do in Jackson, Mississippi. And in some areas we've had early success. In other areas we still have a long way to go. But one thing is certain for me, I know that we're on a progressive path.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You mentioned too while you were up there how important it is for people to understand that they should come to the Deep South.
Yes.
And that we can win elections as progressives in the Deep South.
Absolutely. I think that it is a missed opportunity. If I take Mississippi, for example, Mississippi is a state that is 40% black.
Yeah.
And you know, it's an area that often you have a Republican Party that you know expects for it to be in their grips. And so they don't make any particular efforts to change anything in Mississippi. There's no real support that goes to Mississippi. And then you have a Democratic Party that feels that Mississippi is a lost cause and there's no opportunity. And so we have to meet people where they are. You can't organize people if you don't meet them where they are. And so I think that is an important notion. And so we're demanding and we're pushing forward that what we're going to support are candidates and parties that support our agenda for ourselves, and that's what I think is important.
When we get a black female governor in Georgia,
yeah,
won't that also, but couldn't we one day have a black governor and a black senator from Mississippi?
I think that it is certainly possible. I'm certainly rooting for my sister Stacey Abrams in Georgia, and I know that she's going to give them all that they can take. And so I look forward to not only her success, but in terms of the campaign, but I look forward to her success in terms of governance and just the ability to make certain that we not only have leadership that looks like us, that we have leadership that thinks like us.
Might in the future that black governor or senator from Mississippi be Chokwe Lumumba?
Right now, Chokwe Lumumba is concerned with fixing potholes.
That's real too.
And making certain that we have economic investment in our community, that we begin to fill our own gaps. And so I'm looking forward to that right now.
I knew your father well.
Yes, sir.
He was a great man, and even though he was my elder, he always, as you know, a lot of us younger brother, he still treated us like peers.
Yeah.
And I knew him through NCOBRA and the RNA. Did you think about, before his untimely passing, and that was something that really was traumatic for us all, had you thought about running for office before that?
I hadn't necessarily thought about it, but he had.
I know.
All right.
Okay.
He suggested it to me on a few occasions, and it wasn't something that I was certain, you know, was where I needed to be. And I still hold the proposition that we should see electoral politics not as the end,
of course,
but as a means to an end.
Right.
And I thought that my contribution may be better effectuated in some other ways. But at the time of my father's death, what I ultimately came to is that leadership must come less out of political ambition and more out of necessity. And so, you know, something was sown into me that I thought it was important that we not let that fall. And so I still ask from my elders, I still ask for my community to hold me to task, that we continue to push those things forward. But I think that we have an important moment that we have to seize on and use this as a vehicle to organize more, to make certain communities are empowered more, to make certain that at the end of the day, we are governing for ourselves and we have greater access to governance than ever before.
Yeah, you're doing it, brother. You represent your dad well too, man. Now you can see
brother.
his spirit is still on you, man. Okay.
I appreciate that, brother.
And I hope it remains. God bless you, brother.
God bless you,
Thanks.
brother.
Nice
I
to meet
appreciate you.
man.
Thank
All
you, my man.
Chokwe
Brother.
Lumumba,
All right.
ladies and gentlemen. All right. Okay.
Thanks.